Good morning, students, faculty, and staff. My name is Brianna Jones, and I'm a first year DPT student at Winston-Salem State University. I graduated Delaware State May of 2015, and I started my program probably about a month ago. So I'm here to discuss with you about grad school, applying to grad school as an undergrad, and my biggest advice to all of you right now. So first, I'll discuss about grad school. It's definitely a different playing field than undergrad. You're with a different group of students who want to learn, who want to be there, and who are willing to put in as much time and effort as you are to succeed and reach that end goal of, that other degree, whatever you're pursuing. So it's important for you to know that you're going to have to change your learning style and your study style. There's no way you can study the night before an exam and pass. That's literally the impossible. You're probably going to spend on average a week and a half to 2 weeks studying for your exam for whatever class you're preparing for. And it's just important for you to be open to all different types of learning, whether you need to record your professor during class or you need to videotape him while he's talking about things or doing hands-on skills. It's important for you to group up with someone. So if you find a group of students who are doing amazing on quizzes or exams and you're still struggling by yourself, it's important for you to go out and reach out to them and say, hey, can I study with you guys? You're going to find yourself setting up study guides because professors don't do that in grad school. It's amazing. You take for granted the amazing thing that they put on Blackboard, and you kind of do, but don't do because they go over in class. They don't do that anymore in grad school. You make your own outlines, you take your own notes. The teachers don't put these amazing things on all the information on the PowerPoints. They don't do that anymore. You have to sit in class, you have to grasp the information, you have to understand the information, and you have to go home and immediately look over it and study because the information is given to you so fast and the exam is given into you in such a hurry that if you fall behind, it's so hard to catch up. So that's my biggest advice, is just making sure you know how to study, that you realize that you may have to relearn how to study. You may have to readjust your learning style. And I think my second biggest advice is constantly reaching out for help. So my physical therapy professors are amazing and they're always there for you. You get an advisor, but my advisor is more like my life coach and my mentor. She doesn't really always help me with classes because I have a set schedule, but she's, teaching you how to communicate with other professors. Asking for help is extremely important because if you don't ask for help, you can never succeed. And that's something that I learned in grad school because I never had to really ask for help. So I think it's important for you to always search for that feedback from your professors and even from your students, because even from your colleagues, because they see you on a different level than you see yourself. So they're going to be able to tell you, hey, you probably didn't understand that information because you were busy shopping during class, or you didn't probably get this information because you were focusing on something else. So I'll get this half of the class, you get this half of the class, we'll meet together and we'll go over it after class. So that's something that you need to do, is always ask for help, because if you don't ask for help, you're not going to be able to succeed in grad school. And then I think my third advice is just to constantly find something that will take your mind off studying or classwork or whatever it is you're doing. So finding a hobby, watching Netflix, going out, working out, whatever you need to do that's going to take your mind off studying for an hour to 2 hours is going to be the most helpful, because you will go stir crazy. You will want to pull your hair out. You will want to cry. However you get your aggression, anger out, you're going to want to do it. But you're going to need to learn that there's people all over the world who have done this. People have graduated, people are successful, they're loving what they're doing. So if they can do it, you can do it. I think that's something extremely important to know, that this is not the impossible. There are students constantly graduating, constantly out loving what they're doing. professors are practicing, and it's like if they can do it, you can surely do it. It's not the impossible. So now I'll discuss applying to grad school as an undergrad. I think my biggest feedback for this is going to be constantly staying on top of what needs to be done in order for you to successfully submit your application. So, knowing whether or not you want to do early admissions, knowing how much your applications are going to cost. You need to, when I talk about the cost, I mean like your applications to the whole system, your applications individually to the school, the amount it requires for your GREs, and then whatever extra expenses you're going to need. I think my next part would be catching up on your interview skills, because now a lot of schools are requiring interviews, especially like physical therapy, occupational therapy, PA school. They are requiring interviews because you get to know someone's interpersonal skills, how they communicate with others by an interview. So I think it's important for all of you right now to put yourself out there. Going to this health and fitness leaders is extremely important because you get to communicate with other, students and professionals in their field of study, and you get to learn their lingo and use it to help you get further in your interview process and your career further on down. So it's important to put yourself out there and learn communication skills, because the field of health is all about communication. That's all it is. And then I think about applying to grad school is use your resources. So your professors know a lot of people, they've done a lot of things, and they're in connection with a whole world out there that you need to ask them about. It's not their responsibility to run after you and say, hey, I know so and so, or hey, I know so and so. That's not their responsibility. It's your responsibility to go to them and say, hey, like, I'm interested in something, and I'm wondering if you can help me. Is there anyone you know? That's your responsibility. That's all about growth, personal growth and professional growth. And I feel as though, reaching out to other people, other students, other professionals will help you succeed. There's a whole bunch of students out there from Delaware State who are in physical therapy programs, who are in OT programs, who are in PA school, who are successful in jobs as soon as they graduate. And if you don't talk to them, you won't know how to be successful yourself. So I think that's super important, using your resources. And I think it's just staying on top of everything. Your application process happens so fast. You need to allow enough time for yourself to take maybe the GREs twice, to get your essays, read over and over and over and over again. Physical therapy school requires 200 hours of observation. That's not something you can kick out in a summer, because you need 3 to 2 settings. So it's kind of like, making sure that you're allowing us enough time for you to get your 200 hours of observation. And you can't rely on senior seminar to get you that 200 hours, because by the time senior seminar rolls around, for a lot of you, your applications should have already been submitted. So that's something extremely important to know. You can't rely on senior seminar to get you to where you need to be for grad school applications. And then I would say my biggest advice to all of you is to know that this portion of your life, grad school, it's no longer a race, it's no longer a competition, it's more like a marathon. It's a slow and steady race. It's going to take everything in you to get to the finish line, but the finish line is there. It's over some hills and, through some rough patches, but it's there. So you can't be afraid of failure. You can't think that it's right around the corner and that you're going to sprint your way to it, because that's literally impossible. But to further yourself as a professional, as on a personal level, you need to learn that this is like the slow and steady part of your race. You rushed your whole entire life, you rushed high school, you rushed undergrad, but now is the point in your life where it's going to be that marathon, and only the strong survive. So, just making sure that you're constantly on top of things, that you're always putting yourself out there, getting to know people. It's so many things that connect into the spider web of grad school that are going to help you be successful. But you have to realize that failure is going to happen, but it's what you do with those failures that will help you succeed. So I hope all of you have a great time at your Health and Fitness Leaders Day. And do not be afraid to reach out to Dr. Gomez. I'm always willing to help who's ever willing to go to physical therapy school, because it's not the easiest thing to do. And I hope all of you have a great day. Stay